Hey guys, so this episode of Alchemy Motorsports has been a long time coming. Not only in how long it's been since I last posted, sorry about that, I really am trying to do better, but also in how long the spread of footage is in this video. Some of this video I think is over a year old from when I started it, and the rest of it is at least 4 to 6 months old already from now. But in this video, we're going to get back into the interior of the Travelall, cut the passenger side all down so that the seat will fold up and the panel is welded up and fully shaped and all of that. Get that all finished up and get that panel ready to screw in. There's a lot to get through. I've tried to make it as entertaining as I could. So if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me if you like what you're seeing. Anyway guys, let's get into it. So you guys might already be able to tell that this side is going to be harder for a few different reasons. One of the biggest is this rust damage is actually significantly worse, so much so that the panel is about to break into two pieces completely. I mean, it's held together here, here, and these two spots. That's really about it. Like, it's in much worse shape. So there's more work that has to be done just to keep it in one decent shape. Also, I have all of this to contend with. Specifically, the worst part is right here. This motor assembly comes right up behind this seam here, and getting enough clearance has been difficult. Many of the same things have to happen as well. I've got to repair this, which is what this strip is for. I need to weld this panel to here, and then remove this and cut the panel back off from under there, just like we did on the other side. I've got to cut and flatten basically all of this as well, so that I have the flat panel here to clear the edge of the seat, because currently the seat cannot go up around this corner here. I'll have to do some cleanup and possibly some repair down along the bottom here. There's a dent here I've got to knock out, but it's not a majorly bad one. And then we'll have to do some repair of this lip back here as well. Then, again, build in the screw flange up here, remove this, and rebuild this side so that it fits all the way down over that flange completely. The first thing I have to do is get this panel completely rebuilt. I want it back in one piece, then I'll start deciding which pieces have to be cut out of it. Quick jump forward in time. All of this has been tack welded together and then ground back. So the next step is I need to patch all of this rust so that this stays in one piece how it is.
I'm going to cut off most of what's left, get it out from behind there, and then I'm just going to cut and butt the bottom, and I'll bring you guys back to take a look at how everything sets up. Going really well, even with having to make those two tools. I'm actually pretty happy with the speed with which all of this is happening and the quality it's happening at. Making some progress on the grinding. I used a flap wheel just to like knock the heads down quite a bit, which you can see there. And then I'm using an air grinder with a 24 grit disc to actually go back and really start smoothing everything. Here's the panel about an hour and 15 minutes later. You can see there's a few spots here. Right there, a few random little spots. I've got to go back, add a few more welds. So we're just going to go back, run another layer of spots, and another bit of grinding. I figure finishing all of that will probably take me around half an hour. And then I think we'll be ready to start on the front half to fit around the Tahoe seat. We're a few hours into this panel repair. We've got a lot of the major rust repair done, but I actually want to finish all of the rust repairs that I'm looking at on this before I start the major modifications to it. So there's a few more things we're going to do before we make the cutout for the wheel. I have a ton of rust damage down this strip. Man, you can't see that very well, can you? There we go. So we've got a lot of rust damage down this strip, as well as there is some rust across the bottom. I'm going to grind that down and see just how severe it is. If it's still metal, you know, it's not just thin tin that's going to fall apart soon, I'm just going to leave it. I'm only going to fix what I have to across here because I'm not too worried about it. Even this little bit of ugly edge is actually hidden under or behind the carpet, so none of that really matters. So I went and found something to replace this edge with, and we are going to replace it with that, which is actually a strip of Suburban. I'm just going to cut down this inside corner, or just right along the inside corner, butt that thing up, and weld it in. Et voila. Tacked this piece on. That's how it screws back to the body when I get to that. We've got that all finished up. I even actually put a tiny patch down in that little tear that was in that corner. Brushed all that back. Looks like pretty decent metal. I think I'm now ready to put this back in. It seems like I might have twisted this corner a little bit when I welded this in, so I'll have to make sure I get that fixed if it is a little twisted. And then I want to try and get this line here pretty similar to the other side, so they more or less match. Hey guys, it's been a while, but we are back inside the Travelall. I've been avoiding this panel, though I haven't actually sent out any of the videos, so this is probably just a continuation of the video building this interior panel, because I thought I would do it all as one job in that video, but it's honestly been months. I quit working on this, and I went and built the entire front end. I did the windshield frame and cowl. I attached the whole front end. I built the front fenders. I did the rust repair on the front doors and on the roof. Like, I quit working in here for quite a while because I was just so tired of this interior work. But it's time to get back at it. So where we had finished is that panel more or less fits. If I jam it in there, it actually fits. This panel attaches. It's got the screws all the way down at the flange, so that's all good there. It fully attaches across the top. We did all the rust repair across the main body of it. And we had cut this garbage out so that we could start making it look like that corner. Again, maybe you guys don't need all this exposition because you saw me do this just a few minutes ago. But oh well, you're getting it. So, there's a few different things that we're really looking at right now that need to happen. That panel needs to be screwed down a little tighter. So, one of the main things, need to build that corner, for this side all over again. And frankly, I'm going to do it somewhat differently than I did it there, in the way I assemble the pieces, because that didn't work. Oh, I've got the hiccups. Because that didn't really work all that well, and they should look close enough that I'm going to be happy with it. Also, need to build the lip that this thing screws to. If you guys remember, over here on the other side, I built this kind of flange right here that's welded to the travelall body, and then these are screw holes for the screws that actually mount everything together. So I need to build that flange and get it tack welded in all the way down. But I think we're going to start by making up this panel here and getting a flange attached to it. Once we've got that, we'll slowly start piecing this garbage back together. I don't know what I'm doing. I've already done it once and I still have no idea what I'm doing. Well, whatever it is I decided to do, you guys will see it. It's over! The game is over! The Joker! How do you know? Now this jerk is taking over. Show me why forever die. How about outside of your window? How about outside of your window? You're such a sucker for a sweet talker, yeah. Enough to know you never loved me. Can I feel anything for anyone from that day on? And all of this was all your fault. And all of that.
Stop that. You're not going into a song while I'm here. No.
So we finished the basic construction on this side finally. This is a job I haven't wanted to do. It's been a chore, but if I'm honest, it's gone actually way better than that side right there. And they should end up looking relatively similar. They may not be perfect, but let's be honest, I don't care. So, I've got all of the pieces in for that, except for a little piece that will come off the bottom and go down farther down here, so that's kind of whatever. Obviously, there's a ton of welding and grinding to be done all in here. And then once I'm done with it, I have to start cutting it back apart because I still have to run the ducting for the air conditioning back there up through this wheel well, and then it's got to come out somewhere in here. I don't really know how that's going to go. That's why I decided to just build this, then I'll figure out what I need to do, and I will just cut away those sections to get this all built. But I guess the first major test is just making sure the seat actually fits in this space I've made. Alright, put a bunch of crap aside. Enough we can set this seat up. Well, it went up. Got nice gaps here. Try to get into this thing. Knock a bunch of stuff out. And we've got some pretty nice gaps all the way up around there. They do get pretty close, and it could be that with weight on it, it would rub. So maybe I'll just put an extra wear patch on that corner. Something I also discussed about that one. But overall, I'm going to call that design a win. Sweet. I'm glad that part at least worked. So we've jumped ahead a little bit in time. I did a whole bunch of welding all the way down that. I added in those little pieces to finish that thing off. So that thing will fit in somewhere like that. And we just have a whole bunch of grinding to do now. So I'm just going to turn to that. You guys have seen it 100 times. Whole lot of grinding. So I'm going to do a whole lot of grinding. If there's any touch-up welds that I need to do, I will just get those taken care of as well. So when I bring you back, this should all look a little more like that. I'd shown you this was all welded up, and I was getting ready to spot weld it. But when I got in here, I realized that this panel was still only spot welded. So I've actually fully welded this whole strip and ground it back. But when I was putting this together, I couldn't get it, still can't really, get it to sit with this more entirely lined up here. So I'm just trying to get that to line up with it pushed all the way in. There. A few swift kicks did the job, it looks like. Okay, so I currently have this thing plugged into the wall. Current setting is 2.5 seconds. I'm massively struggling with the size of this thing. Okay, I think I am clear and ready for launch. Go. Whew. Well, the Harbor Freight one would definitely be easier. I don't know, I don't feel like that spot is big enough, so I'm turning it up. We are now at 3.5 seconds. is a hefty beast. Yeah, that one seems pretty good, I think. I still don't think it's quite the size of a factory spot weld at all. I might have to like shave those tips down, maybe make a wider spot on them. But I've got good color on both sides, so I think it's good penetration. We can test it in a minute. But I think I'm gonna re-hit that upper one. Yeah, that one got pretty melty. I wonder if because I already had good connection between them from the first spot weld that it started melting through. I'm not really sure. But, you know, of all the spot welds I could potentially mess around with, I feel like these are pretty good spots to learn on. Because it's really not the worst thing, it's not like massively structural if these spots fail. So it's not going to cause anything dangerous or unrepairable to fall apart. Shit. Contact. Nope. Trying again. Contact. If I had more space and could get this door all the way open, this would be way easier. It's just that I'm wedged in this corner that's really, really making this difficult. Holy crap, this thing's really hard to use because it's so heavy and these tongs are so long. I definitely need to look into shorter tongs. That would make this much, much better. For sure, but so that one I melted back a bit. This upper one, you can see I over melted, but the rest of them seem like they're pretty good, and that's where I ground it out. I'm gonna just weld that and then grind it back flat so it looks nice. And then out here, let me see if I can get some light here. Obviously, I need to cut that inner panel I just welded in back. I just hadn't bothered because I was planning to use the door as my template. So I'll just cut down that right now. You can see all of that. And then back in here, I don't know if you can tell, but the inner and the outer door frame line up really pretty well all the way down. So I have equal depth on this flange on the inside and the outside. So that, I think, should be good. Whew, that thing is definitely a beast. It's hefty, hefty, hefty. And with the tongs out that far, it is hard to control. And this was a very, very awkward position to do it from. But even so, awesome. Crazy happy with that. Shorter tongs are definitely something I'm going to look into. I have that spare one with the same long tongs, so I'm going to see if these are just like solid copper bars or something, so I can just cut them and shorten them and make a new set. If I can, I'm definitely going to do that because, 80% of the spot welds I'm going to do, I bet, are within 3 inches of the edge of a panel. So as long as I've got 3-inch jaws, that's enough. That should be enough for lots and lots of stuff. So I'm going to look into that, maybe modify this thing, because the next big project I have is the lower rockers for that spot welder. Maybe look at making some better handles for it that really give me some nice control options. But man, that's awesome. That's freaking great. I'm very happy with that. And I sit here yanking on it, and it's not going anywhere. They're not cracking or tweaking. So maybe I should be putting them every 2 inches. Maybe the next thing I do, I'll do every like 2 inches is all. So I'll do more spot welds. But overall, that's more. I think I put my spots closer than the factory did on this thing. Maybe not. And I hope that they're at least as solid as the factory ones, but maybe not. Anyway, got to finish this thing. So next up, got to trim that corner back. And then we'll get some screws set in so we can finish setting that inner panel.
I'm trying to wrap up this video, and I realize as I get to the end of editing that I don't actually show the finished product for some reason. I don't know if I lost the video or what the deal is, but that's what we're doing. We're going to show you guys where it's at now, which is quite a while after the end of that video, actually. Let's kick on some light here. So you can see we did some finish work in here. Got that edge all cut back and everything. And all of these edges, it's all drilled in. Also, you know, we've run some wiring, so there's a quick glimpse into the future. So with the interior rear panels all finished up, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.